men on the run. The profits abandoned, the law take advantage. The market is crashing, the industry wants to sleep in the box while they making a mockery following us. This ain't Monopoly, watching for love. This ain't monogamy, y'all getting jumping on what the hell is that? I gotta relax when I feel. All my descendants, they come in my sleep and say I am too real. I'm done with the sensitive, taking it personal. Done with the black and the white, the wrong and the right. You hoping for change and miracles. I know the feelings that came with burial cries. You ugly. You out of pocket. 2 ATMs, you stepping to what? You out of pocket. Who you think they talk about us? You out of pocket. Who you think they carry out for us? Serving up, pull up, dancing in a drop. Hello to the big step, but never lose a count. Venting in the safe house. Venting in the safe. Can I vent out my truth? I got nothing to lose. I got problems and pools. I can swim with my fate. Cameras moving whenever I'm moving. The family suing whatever I make. Murder is stacking. The president acting. The government taxing my funds in the bank. Homies ejecting the fence when I'm breaking. Look at my reaction. My pupils on skates. Holla.
Let's think about this for a second. Tell me what you would do for steady. When you show your show no credit. When you show your bro for leverage.
What a hypocrite said. What community feel they the only ones relevant? What a hypocrite said. What community feel they the only ones relevant? You out of pocket, yeah, you out of pocket. You entertain the mediocre, need to stop it. You entertaining old friends when they toxic. What your life like? You gossip. What the fuck is council culture, dog? Say what I want about you. I'm like overdog. I treat you like I'm Jigga. Watch I own it all. Oh, you worry about a critic? That ain't protocol.
Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. I ain't going nowhere, 20-year career minimum. Call Hit Boy for beats, ask for 10 of them. I don't follow trends, I swing the pendulum. If the bag good, I'm gon' give her some. Let's reflect times, I try to collect minds from complex rhymes. And by the way, shout out Tech 9. Go and shut the up, just let me talk. I'm a time bomb that's waiting to go off. Quite nuclear, amazing what fame could do to you. Too peculiar, although I'm truly a renaissance starter. My mind divine, it take me a lot farther. Growing up, I really had beef with my father. But why bother explaining my feelings? Try harder, but either way they gon' paint you the villain. 8 months with no phone, dog, we aiming for brilliance. High level maintaining the building, we making a killing. Alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. A wise man told me that.
It's week 6 of the National Football League. All eyes are on Ja'Marr Chase. He got to the century market receiving last week with a pair of scores. It's the Bengals and the Ravens on Sunday.
Set to go now in week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
And for how good he is throwing the ball, it's his running that makes him so dangerous. He had a couple of touchdowns on the ground in last week's game, so we'll see what they dial up for him for this one.
A collegiate star here in the Buckeye State, it's J.K. Dobbins. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 23 carries, 62 yards, and a touchdown.
Just an all-right day from him last week. He really didn't break out for the huge yardage he had hoped going in. I talked to him before the game, though, and he knows this is a new, fresh opportunity. He's put last week behind him, and his focus, getting some extra yardage with every carry he receives this week.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. To throw is Jackson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack. The defense is always talking about not letting Lamar Jackson get comfortable. A good job there on his opening drive of making him uncomfortable.
Man, you're talking about doing it so early in the game because all week long there's been anxiety on the defensive side of the ball. How do we keep this guy hemmed in? How do we tackle him? To get it done that early, that's got to feel great for them.
Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick back in 2020 from LSU. It's Joe Burrow.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. Mixon with a first down carry. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The numbers for Mixon last week. 16 carries, 64 yards, and a touchdown.
That's a very nice winning streak that they're on, and they've really seen this offense come into its own as a unit. And one of the keys is that the ground game has been established, and it's keeping the defense honest near the line of scrimmage. Sometimes that leads to huge games for him. Other times, he plays a complementary role to someone else. But however it's getting done, they're winning week after week.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there. But we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he is going to have the Bengals first down as he pushes forward for a couple on 4th and inches. Just enough push up front. He only needed about 6 inches. He didn't get a whole lot more than that.
No, but he made sure he got enough so they didn't have to worry about measuring it or making it even close. Ends up picking up a couple of yards in a situation, as you noted, where he only needed inches.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw into the hands of Boyd. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there on 20 yards.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bengals put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game.
Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up and kind of do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Now Dobbins again on second down. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. And now Jackson will look to throw it. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Nice defense for the Bengals. They were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and that'll give them a short yardage situation here for second down. Jackson from the shotgun. He's got it. Touchdown. Mark Andrews, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Tucker with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's Mark Andrews who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. From just inside the 20, a short kick. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
7-7, our score after 1. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Burrow will throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Odafe Oweh showing off the pass rush skills. On 4th down, Michael Pilardi on to punt. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And this kick will be touchdown as they spot it inside the 45-yard line. Lamar Jackson and the Raven offense heading out. He had the short touchdown pass on their previous drive, and they'll begin again here on 1st and 10. And they'll run the option to start the drive. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
And supreme confidence in the kicker turns to supreme failure, as that is obviously no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. I got nothing after that try.
Yeah, don't even try.
I mean, he tried it from the parking lot. Now they go play action now. Burrow. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And it's caught. Touchdown, Bengals. Tyler Boyd. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals have taken the lead. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Throwing on 2nd down. Jackson dancing away at the 35. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Hey, Alpha's what?
They run the option here on 1st and 10. 6 yards there on the keeper at 2nd down. Now that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 41-yard line. Jackson running again. Oh, able to avoid him. the 20, 10, 5, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 41 yards. And the Ravens are an extra point away from evening this one up. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied at 14. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Well, the Bengals offense getting set and ready to go again here. And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls because these are the top 2 teams right now in that division.
And if you can build a bit of a cushion as you head towards the second part of the season, that allows you to survive the expected injuries, potential upset losses, all of those things, and still be in good shape.
From the 30 on second down, Burrow. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Boyd. 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. The Bengals hit a perfect 5-0 here to begin the campaign. And they've certainly found their groove of late. Winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time, partner. Sky's the limit as far as they're concerned. Their confidence really soaring.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 49 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
Here we go, here we go.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there. Getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Dante Hightower on the stop. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Once again, they run with Mixon. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Ravens will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Melvin Ingram. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for Bengals TD.
But no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick 6.
And it's plays like that one, they've made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead is now 21-14. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
Taken at the 15, a short kick. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Back to the air, Jackson following the pick six. And his throw is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Bengals are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the second quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. So, Charles, you look at this offense, so what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. Just a 25-yard punt. Not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Jackson. That'll be complete to Dobbins. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. To throw again on second down. Jackson. He's got Fuller. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And as is to be expected, this is nowhere near being good from that distance. And this will stay at a 7-point game. Well, partner, this is where I need the color commentator. I'm not sure what to say about that one.
Hey, you and me both, my man. Let's just let that one go and move on.
Deal. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Final play of the half for Burrow and company. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That message received here. No need to wait. We're going to skip halftime and get right back to the action. Here comes the third quarter. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. So here are the Bengals set to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll hand it off here. This is Mixon. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Room here to run. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 87 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Burrow looking to pass. Runs over him. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
And that's patience to be admired right there, because he looks left, looks right, and waits for the right guy to come open, spots him in the middle of the field, and delivers.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Jet sweep. Boyd with it. Marcus Peters up to make the tackle. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Yeah, the Bengals are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line. Mixon is into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. So he had a nice run to get him down there. Was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that can make this a 3-possession game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Forced out to his left. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one, because they were prepared the whole way for him to try and escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Joseph Osai in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be 4th down. That time, finally, a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He is knocking on the door for 100 yards in this ball game.
And it's so important. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. Just short of it, a little bit over. A little bit over feels better to everyone. Offensive line, running back, team totals. Just something magical about breaking that barrier.
He's right there on the doorstep now. He got 29 yards that time.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And across midfield he goes into Raven territory.
And we got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Again, it's Mixon. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
We're We got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw.
Rolling to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
Well, they tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
Now it's Mixon running right. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. Here's Michael Palardy now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Taking it about the 16. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. The last series formed a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result. You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Jet sweep, Boyd with it. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of...
And he is in! Touchdown, Bengals!
Joe Mixon,
his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year.
And the Bengals are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. And McPherson on for the extra point.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon.
Taken at the 15, a short kick. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Back now in Cincinnati. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Now Jackson on 1st down. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
They'll try to draw here with Dobbins.
Shifts by him. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on it. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
Here's Jackson to throw. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
They're going for it with Dobbins. And he's taken down inside the 30. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And here in the 4th quarter, defensively, you know that you're just going to blanket the field with defensive backs and say, okay, take your best shot. And that time, it's intercepted.
And we've often seen teams go into the prevent early, way too early, and sometimes they get too soft in their coverages. But not in this case. They understood the situation and played it with the proper aggression.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Mixon. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. 132 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. On 3rd down, Mixon. And they're going to get the 1st down here as he's up to the 14. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL and picking up 1st downs, and they get the conversion here. And I think a lot of that is due to how they win on 1st and 2nd down, because that leaves them 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable. A lot easier to pick them up then, isn't it?
And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a 1st down. It carries like... They're going to continue to start this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33. And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 6. Open man is Higgins. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Palardy now on to punt as he sends this one away. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ballgame. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Hey, DJ Mosky, let's get it. We the champions here in Los Angeles. We doing numbers.